Call this meeting to order. It is the February meeting of the Citizen Review Board. I'm Lori Nilsson and I'm the chair, and we are recording this meeting. Dana, could you do the roll?
Okay. Yes, I can. Okay, Lori.
Here.
Mary.
Here.
Peter.
Here.
Cliff.
Here.
May.
Here.
Ruth.
Here.
Cynthia.
Here.
And Dan. And Hatisha.
I did state that Hatisha advised that she's running a little bit late. There's something going on at work. So,
Well, we'll add her when she gets here. Okay, the first thing would be the minutes. Hopefully everybody got a chance to read them. And I'll take a motion to accept them.
I'll make that motion.
Cliff, second.
Second.
And I'll second the motion.
I think Ruth got there first, but that's okay. There'll be more.
No problem.
Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, raise your hand, and those of you that are not visible, just say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anybody,
Aye.
anybody against? Okay, the minutes are carried. Committee assignments. Change that I have right now is the last committee to evaluate you was not Clifford, it was Dan. But the rest was correct.
Can I make a quick comment on that?
Sure can.
Lori, I finally directly reached the chair of the Public Safety Committee, who promised that he would get me the form very soon. I called him directly.
That's good. That's what we've been waiting for. Is there anybody that's on a committee that wants to be on a different committee, or someone who's not on a committee that wants to be on one? Just let me know. Peter, you going to stay on board
Can you tell
development
me
and
what
training?
committee I'm on? Can you tell me what committees I'm on?
Sure can. Community outreach and public education. And police relations.
Okay, great. I'll stay there.
Okay.
So I'm on police relations and
For development and
See you
training.
yeah, I'm okay. If we want somebody else, if anybody else wants that, I'd be happy to give up one of those, but I'm okay for now.
Okay, why don't we leave it for now?
And Lori, can you just confirm that I'm on the committee?
You are on the board candidates recruitment committee.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry, also operations is you and Ruth.
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along. My report, I've got a couple of things, nothing major. Term expiration, I think we're all set. I have reached out to Pat Hogan. I did email him asking him to respond to me and get me at least an indication of what he's planning to do, and he has not responded as of yet. I will reach out to him by phone, hopefully. That might be a better way to get him. Hearings, interestingly, we had our first virtual hearing yesterday. It's not done. We need more time, but it went very well. At least technically it went well. I think the hearing was good. It was nice that the complainant had no problems once she got there. Peter, Cliff, Renette, any comment on the hearing? Or
I think it went well. Looking forward to finishing up with it. I think we all did a great job. We all handled the situation properly. Also, as far as the lawyer is concerned, I think it was a good step in the right direction as well. As Ms. Relaford was reiterating, I think we made strides in that area right there. So,
I think so too. Yeah.
Yes, that was all I wanted to add, was that I thought that it went really well, and we had great quorum, and I was very happy to see that our first virtual hearing for 2021 started off in the way that it did. Look out, world, I can share my screen. So just
You're all excited about that, aren't you?
yeah, I'm very excited about that. So we were able to, play the necessary body worn camera, and share photos and anything that we had that was necessary from the complainant, and for the hearing panel to review body worn camera. So, and they would be able to review any sort of video evidence that is provided. And I think that that's an excellent tool since we were virtual. So I think that that just makes sure that, just wanted to say that on the record so people understand that we are able to, do what we need to do and review the proper evidence, even though we are virtual.
I think it's even easier virtually to review the body worn camera footage and photographs because we all see it at the same time. It's as opposed to being huddled around a computer trying to look at it. Peter?
Yeah, I thought technically it actually worked better than I thought. Seemed to go very well, and so we can do this. The fact that we're not done was due to other issues, not anything
Correct.
technical.
Correct.
And it worked out reasonably well with the lawyer there.
Mhm.
I had trouble. I had a technical issue with. I had to dial in with my phone in order to get sound. Renette, my computer got sort of revamped recently, and I think I don't have the WebEx program. Do I need to download that?
You can
right now-
download it, or when you go to hit the link, it should give you sort of options and things. So I don't know if you necessarily need to download it onto the computer, but just hitting the link will bring up the browser and allow you to
That's
just
what
link
I did
in.
tonight. Yeah, that worked tonight, but yesterday I couldn't get sound, and I don't know what that's about. It's
Okay,
kind of a
so
pain
what
using
we'll
my
do is
phone.
we'll just we'll try to how we did and try to go in and go out really quickly. Try to sign on as early as you can. At maybe like 10 minutes before a hearing, just so we can work out any technical difficulties that may arise, and so that we have an opportunity to correct them and start on time.
Okay, one other question. It's to discuss the issue of what if someone were to be subpoenaed and did not show up?
So we are going to take that on as a case by case basis as to how we handle that. We definitely are going to make a notation in our findings related to that. And then as a board, we have to decide what to do thereafter the notation. If there is something else that we are, proposing to do, and I would say we would seek our legal representation's advice as to what to do thereafter. But we are definitely going to mention the fact about the subpoenaing of the officers and their failure to attend or whatever that is. And we will be making, the proper notations throughout the process. You know what I mean? Just to, make sure everybody is aware the notations about the hearing was held virtually and people appeared, that kind of stuff. If the person appears and they are not able to get on video, we're going to make note of that. We're going to just kind of break it down, as to just to let them know the type of system we have going on. But we will, do the same thing, show, and state that, we were able to review, the body worn camera footage and whatever other footage we felt was necessary, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. All of that will be detailed inside of the findings letter.
So do you think you and Lori need to talk to our attorney about
I think that we wait until after we see part 2 as to what occurs at that point in time. And then we proceed from there.
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
we have 2 more callers. Hatisha, are you
Yes.
here? Are you 4?
This is
Are you-
Michelle Manos, the Onondaga Beaverhead lady.
Okay. And Hatisha, you're caller 5 or 4? Can you tell?
I don't think Hatisha's on the call yet. I'm not sure who caller 5 is.
So I just wanted to make a comment, if you don't mind, in regards to the way it appears yesterday's hearing went, and I'm glad that it went as good as it did. So now I feel more comfortable with doing a virtual hearing based on the evidence that you all just presented.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thank you, Cynthia. And the complainant was able to appear by telephone as well. But like I said, and so they were able to, see them just like you would in person. So, that is the goal, is that if we have a virtual hearing, is to make sure they still appear on camera, even if they have to, use both functions, the call-in function and the camera function, whatever we have to do to try to make it work. And then that's what the plan is.
One other quick question. I thought I'd seen body worn camera on your footage on your computer before. I think I have, but it was very broken up and jerky and, almost like a series of stills. Is that normal?
I think it just depends on the positioning of the camera and what type of situations we have going on that are being recorded, which may cause a little bit more of the jumping. I think it just kind of depends on the handling. Not, you get what I'm saying? So if there's the one we saw most recently had a lot of activity. Therefore, I believe that, part of the reason why you saw all of the movement and stuff was the placement of the camera and just the nature of the situation. And, you have to think about this too. That camera footage was from 2019. Hopefully the new body worn cameras give us a little bit better. We'll have to look and see if the resolution is a little bit better, see if they hold, you know what I mean? And I think that that's a comparison that we can kind of make and see, and we can make note of, what you felt as the hearing panel, related to the body worn camera at the time of your decision as well. Like, we can include all of that if you felt like, whatever you would like to state. As the hearing panel, make note of that in your decision, you know what I mean, as to the incident. That's the best way I think we can address it and, let people know what, what we were kind of, I don't want to say dealing with, but, what you were observing and what was, what evidence you were able to see.
Thank you.
Okay, my other comment on hearings is I'm going to make this assumption, and correct me if I'm wrong, Renette, but if we have a complainant who does not have internet access, we'll make arrangements for them to come to the office.
Yes, we will. We'll make arrangements for them to come to the office in some sort of manner or down in a conference area, but we'll make sure that if that is the case, that we will not, you know what I mean? We will still do what we need to do to give them access.
Okay, I just wanted people to know that.
Yes.
Okay, the other thing I have is I don't know if anybody, I know Peter was on at least one meeting and Renette was, but the city did a series of public meetings regarding the police reform initiative. And as a result of that, there were several comments and a couple of questions that were forwarded to the CRB that came through on the public forum. As far as some were recommendations that Renette and I discussed earlier, that we'll plan on having a special meeting to talk about those. Most of them go towards the ordinance itself as opposed to things that we do other than the ordinance. So we'll have to talk about that in that context. The questions, we're having a little difficulty answering them, but we will get back to those individuals with the answers to those questions. And then hopefully at the next meeting in March, we'll be able to state what those questions were and the answers, if that makes any sense.
And we're not going to make the comments directly to the individuals. We will submit them as a report to the county in relation to that. But we will still address them in a forum. So I'm not sure. I don't know if we need to have a motion to hold some sort of special hearing in March to take care of that, or if you need to take that for a vote or not about having a special meeting related to that, and think about when you want to have that. I'm just not sure, so I just want to put that out.
Okay, well, since we're not sure, why don't we do a vote, and then we'll throw some dates out after this meeting and see when people are available. Does that make sense? Okay,
Yes, that makes sense to me.
All right, so I would entertain a motion to hold a special meeting to discuss the recommendations and questions that were asked at the public forums.
I'll second it.
Someone needs to first it.
I'll first it.
Thank you, Peter. Motion made by Peter, second by Cliff. Any discussion?
Right. I meant to say I'll make the motion. Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Okay, that motion carried. And
Lori?
I think, yeah, Peter.
Can I throw one question into the mix?
Sure.
This came from Yusuf Ab, and he and Spark would like to know what progress is being made towards CRB's release of officer disciplinary data with the new ruling on 50A and where we stand on that. So I don't want an answer. I said I would ask the question so we can possibly deal with that in the context of these other questions.
Correct. And if, yes, he is, and that I understand that. Can he get that to us in writing so we can have it with the other? Did he just call you, or was it at a Spark meeting, or?
No, it was at a Spark meeting.
Okay. All right, we'll figure it out, but we'll definitely talk about it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Does anybody require clarification on what Peter just asked?
No, I just wanted to touch base with it. In regards to it, I think that's a very important part of the work that we do as a board and getting that information to the community, right? Because that's one of the biggest pieces that we are facing board-wise and community-wise, is getting that transparency aspects, the transparency aspects of the disciplinary action taken, by SPD, when an officer has been disciplined for actions that they have done misconduct with.
Well, I would say that we need to get specific clarification too as to what exactly are they asking us to release? Are they asking us to release our findings? Are they asking us to release the complaint and the nature of the complaint? Like, we need a little bit more information. That's why I thought that it was a great for Lori to ask for it to be in writing so we understand exactly what you're asking when the CRB would release something. We need to know what specifically you're asking us to release. Is it, how many cases that, we need to know specifics as to what they're asking.
Right,
We
because
need a
there's certain
little bit.
information we can't release, right?
Well, with that's the question. That's why I want to know what it is, because we need to know what they're asking for before we assume that this is what you're asking us for and that's not. And
So
then we have this whole, back and forth kind of like, no, this is what I was talking about. We would rather know clear cut. What are you asking for the CRB to release?
Right.
I will
And
ask
then we
Yusuf to
can-
submit something.
Okay, that would be great. Or ask Yusuf or a member of whoever, just ask them so that we make sure we understand the community's request.
Right. We want to answer the right questions.
There's a lot left up to, what can be released because of 50A. That's very broad, and we want to make sure we understand. Okay.
Renette.
Activity report, we received one new complaint so far in the month of January. And we will be reviewing 5 cases in executive session. And we have been in, several meetings. And I think we'll go ahead and talk about that in the committee reports, but, just know that we've been in several meetings in relation to everything that's going on. So that is a simple, short report as it relates to that, and then we'll see where it falls in committees.
I think one of them will be in police relations.
Yes.
So let's go to committee reports. Community outreach and public education.
So we're looking for community outreach events that we're able to do virtually. I did speak at the OGs Against Gun Violence monthly report, but I think that was this month. Was that this month or January? I think it was this month. So we did have a outreach event to occur. So we have done one so far this year, and we continue to schedule whatever comes up. And I would encourage you to, if you would like the board to appear at something virtually or in person that has the adequate spacing due to the restrictions for the pandemic, then please call our office at 315-448-8750, and we would be happy to figure out how we can accommodate that request. So we're still looking to do the work, but just do it safely. So just let us know what might be available.
Okay. Board development and training. Peter?
Nothing new on the schedule. Last we had decided to hold off on training with, what's his name? Is it Bob Andrews? Do I have that right?
Bob Stewart.
Bob Stewart. I always have trouble with that name. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Normally we would be
get
scheduling
dates from him in March, or do we want to April or?
Yeah, we need to try to get dates for him in March, but we need to know what Councilor Hogan is going to do. Because again, that was one of the reasons why we held off, was because we want to make sure that the new person is available for the hearing. It doesn't make, not the hearing, but for the training. It doesn't make any sense for them to come, thereafter, and then they're not able to receive the adequate initial training that's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right, I'll try and get him by phone. I haven't had much luck, but we'll see.
I don't want to get off topic, but if this council has not filled a seat for 60 days, we are entitled to make a recommendation if we have somebody that we want.
Correct.
Right. So we need to know if somebody has somebody in mind. For Councilor Hogan's second seat, and then we need to make that proposal, and then we can go from there and see what happens with the council as to whether or not they approve it or not, or however we want to work that.
Can we reach out to
And
the
what
public
district
for
was
that?
that for?
The second district.
Okay.
But Cliff,
Say that again, Cliff?
I was asking if we should try to do something like social media wise or something of a
Well, the
public.
council, from what my understanding is, I believe per the rules, Dana, can you look that up? But I think that somebody else is supposed to make the notification that we're looking for board members. I don't think it's supposed to be the CRB necessarily. I thought there was something that said that I think there was something that some sort of notice. And it's not just for meetings. I thought there was supposed to be a board opening notice or something.
Okay.
Dana?
Okay, public notice shall be made of board vacancies for the purpose of providing the opportunity to qualified citizens to apply, both in the meeting of the first full board and in all subsequent vacancies. It doesn't say
It
exactly.
doesn't say who.
No.
It just says that we're supposed to
says-
make notice.
Well, no, the next thing says it shall be the responsibility of the common council to seek and maintain a balanced composition of the board. But, no, it doesn't say who.
It means we can like, seek that out or give a notice in some type of way that we're looking for a board member.
okay, what I will do is I will try and call Mr. Hogan tomorrow. If I do not hear from him by Tuesday, I will call President Hudson and explain the situation to her and have the council put out a notice. Because it sounds like they should put the notice out.
Yeah, we can ask, we can reach out to the staff at the common council's office and see what they say with regard to that, and maybe they can then nudge the counselor as well and say, hey, the CRB chair reached out and is looking for a public notice for the second district seat per the legislation.
Okay.
Dana, what paragraph is that?
It is section 5, paragraph 1, paragraph 2.
Okay.
No, sorry. Paragraph 1G.
Okay.
Of the ordinance, correct?
Yes, of the local law.
Okay, thank you.
And
Yeah,
section
I was
2,
gonna say that, and it seemed like to me that we should be able to go to. That's how I found out about the vacancies, so on and so forth. Yeah, that would be a good idea.
I think I didn't hear where you heard of your vacancy, Cynthia.
Sorry.
Cynthia, how did you? Well, I didn't hear the beginning of what you said.
That's how I was notified of the vacancy for District 5. To me directly from the president of the Common Council, from President Hudson.
Okay.
And then I had to, go through the protocol and meeting with Driscoll, because he's ahead of that. So that's how it all came about.
Okay.
But the council has been aware that we have not had a second council district
We'll deal with it. Let
appointment.
me call Hogan and then I will
So,
call
yeah.
Hudson and we'll take it from there.
Yep. And then please include the public safety chair in that, just in case. So we
Yeah.
don't want, we want to make sure that everybody is aware and that we are seeking, notice.
Okay.
Because maybe, maybe it's difficult finding somebody. I don't know.
Maybe.
So.
Well, moving right on, that kind of segues right into government relations.
So I sent everybody an email with the proposed plan from the city, the draft plan. And I also sent you an email advising as to when the next public safety meetings are going to be. I would encourage you to definitely attend. I believe it's on the 10th and also one on the 13th, I believe. So I would encourage you to make sure that you attend. And we will also be submitting our thoughts related to the draft report. I did send an email to the chief earlier today, after I had a conversation with the deputy mayor earlier today, in which she was going to direct the chief to reach back out about our recommendations. So I advised that our previous recommendations related to the body worn camera policy and the use of force policy were definitely ones that we wanted to be included in the report. And also that we would also make general recommendations related to the report as well, based upon the answers. And we have not drafted that as of yet. We just received the report and it's been a little bit, it's been crazy busy since then. And so we will work on that. I think we talked about our last government relations meeting as well that had to do with the chief, Kristen, Lori attended and Chief Buckner attended and Ryan attended. And we talked just about general procedures. We talked about the fact we were going to start doing hearings again and the method by which we were going to do hearings, and that was received really well. And so that's why we moved expeditiously, as they would say, to get them scheduled. And so we intend to do that. We intend to get them expeditiously scheduled because we have 20 cases. I will mention this. We have about 20 cases that need to go to hearing. And as of right now, we have cases that we will be reviewing every month. If we do not go ahead and handle these hearings, we will be in a worse situation than where we were. Can you please mute yourself? Excuse me?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
Can you mute yourself? I can mute you. Okay, and then somebody else is open. Okay. And so we need to move forward with that, and that is going to require every board member to be available to do hearings, and to be flexible with regard to your schedule because we need to get them done. Then we are working with the other staff, the police officers to attend the hearings that were subpoenaed and also their counsel. So we have to all work together collectively in order to get these 20 hearings done. And, or else we're going to be crazy. What I am going to do, is try to schedule the hearings in some sort of order involving particular officers, so that we see if we try to have the officers to appear all in one week. I mean, based upon how the most recent hearing went, they could last up to 2.5 hours. So I'm trying to think about, could we potentially do 2 hearings in a day or not? How do we do that? But if we do that, again, it's going to require flexibility of all 11 members on the board in order to get it done. But we need to get it done, because if not, it's going to look, it's left to us now. I will put that, you know what I mean? It's left to us to get it done. So I would encourage you, ma'am and sir, please, help us get this done and do our job according to the legislation and hold these hearings. Police relations, I'll go ahead and go to there while I'm on a roll here. I met with the police department earlier this month. Actually, it might have been last month. I don't know. Recently, I'm sorry. And we are going over the FOIA requests that we have received. I spent about 4 or 5 hours with them, I believe. And this coming Monday, I'm going to spend the whole day with them going over cases. So I want to let you guys know. So if we have 20 hearings coming up, and I'm going to be reviewing the past cases that we could, we just have the potential to be seriously flooded. And so I can't stress it enough of how we need to get these done. I'm not saying that all of the cases are going to go to hearing, but we have 20 already that need to go to hearing. So, well, actually, let me make sure I quote that right. Give me 1 second because I wrote it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have 15 on this sheet. One of them has two parties to the same one, so it's technically 16. And we have hearings scheduled. We have a hearing scheduled for Friday, and we have 2 more that need to be scheduled. I think that gets us to 20. So we have a total of 20 hearings that need to get done. So with that, with that being said, and then we have the outstanding cases that they are working diligently on to get us the materials, and then we potentially have those along with whatever ones we still need to investigate. I will put a bug in our ear as well related to the budget. The budget hearing should be coming up soon. So we need to be thinking about our ask of the council as it relates to a full-time investigator, data analysis, outreach people, more than where we are right now, because I will mention again that the Office of Professional Standards has 3 sergeants and a lieutenant, and they are looking to get a regular office personnel. And we have 2 full-time people in the office. So I'm just going to put that out there, and a $5,000 budget for our private investigator, which means that if we have 100 cases and I can only spend $5,000 on a private investigator, how many cases are going to the private investigator and how many are staying in-house to get taken care of? So just want to put that out there. So we need to be, thinking and considering, and I would like to just put that out there because usually the budget hearings happen in March. And so I want to make sure that we've had the opportunity to think about that wisely and to show up as a board in relation to that. Just very briefly to go back to the government plan, the governor's plan, that has to be turned in by April 1st. So we have to work, and they want to be providing that to the governor's office 2 weeks prior to. So that leaves us in March. So I'm just telling you, like we've got a lot to get done in a short period of time, but we need, it's going to require all of us and some patience with each one of us, as we are all probably going to be stressed trying to, get them done. So I think that's the end of my comments.
Police relations. I could start out that Renette and I met with the new president of the PBA and one of his officers. Correct? He's an officer, right?
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes. He's a regular police officer, and he's one of the PBA officers. Yes.
Correct.
Yep.
So we spent a good part of the afternoon talking and going over what we do and what our expectations are of the police department. And he listened and he asked a lot of questions, and I'm looking forward to hopefully having a relationship with them. Don't know what kind of relationship that's going to be, but we have our job to do and he's got his job to do. So just wanted to make sure that he knew who we were, so that and also let him know that if they have any questions about our procedures, to just reach out to us. Renette, did you want to add anything to that?
Nope, I think you did great.
Thank you. Okay, are there any community organizations that have anything they want to say?
No, just listening.
Okay.
And
Before we go to public comment, I just wanted to shout out to Roberto since he's on the call. When we've been doing subpoenas, he's actually brought them to me to sign, and I truly appreciate that extra effort on his part to bring them to me as opposed to me trying to dig my car out and get down there. So thank you, Roberto. Public comment. Anyone have a comment from the public?
If you have a comment, we just ask that you introduce yourself and then just state the comment, because we do take notes and we need to have it in the minutes. But then you can, and the limit is 5 minutes per person. And you will be timed related to that, but we do have open public comment. Starting now, if you have a comment.
Please, anyone that's on this call who have something to say, now is the time to speak your mind. Please, we encourage you as a board, as a citizen review board, we encourage you to give your feedback. So Mrs. Relaford is letting you know that you have the floor to speak up and say something pertaining to the Citizen Review Board if you feel like you need to voice your opinion in regards to the Citizen Review Board. Whatever you need to speak on, now is the time for you to voice your opinion. So don't hesitate to speak up and let us know what you think. We want the community's feedback. We are there for the citizens of Syracuse. We want your feedback, please.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I'm Jennifer Backstrom, originally from Syracuse, New York. I was invited to this meeting tonight. I currently live in Potsdam, New York, and I'm the organizer of BLM Potsdam, New York. I'm listening in to try to figure out how to help out with the police reform issues that are going on here. I was on the police reform committee, and after about 5 meetings, I resigned. Where I live, it's primarily white, very, very, very racist. For the past 2 years, I've been fighting for the justice of a 12-year-old boy that was murdered up here. And when I started BLM in June, I became more vocal in the fight for justice for Garrett and the black man that was railroaded for it. My son, Teron Evans, who is originally from Syracuse, moved here in June. And now he's dead. And I feel that he was killed to silence me. I need to know what I can do to work with this community because I can't work with the police. And what do I do next?
First of all, I'm very sorry to hear about your son. Renette, is there somewhere we can refer her up there?
I will look at information and see if we know of anything in Potsdam. If you would do me a favor,
Yes.
I'm going to give you the CRB email address. If you would email me so that I have a means to get in contact with you. I don't want you to, put that information out here in the public or in the comment section. So please email CRB at syrgov.net. And I will be in touch with you. I will look and see what resources we have or any sort of, I'm going to put it in the chat as well, just in case that didn't go over, along with the CRB telephone number. But I don't know anybody specifically in Potsdam, so I would have to research and see what else might be what else might be close to that, and it might not be directly in Potsdam, but somewhere close.
Yeah.
I know Buffalo is trying to do some things, and I know you're closer up to there, and then you have Rochester and what they're trying to do there, but specifically in Potsdam, I'm not aware.
And to be honest with you, I would prefer any help away from Potsdam, far away from them as possible here.
Okay.
After what happened to Mr. Hillary and Garrett Phillips' case, I don't trust them at all.
Okay.
And especially
yes,
now
just
what's happened to my son.
okay. So yes, please just email us, and again, our sincere condolences related to your son.
Do you have any suggestions? I still want to work with the community. And I don't know how to start a group like you guys have, you know, just specifically for the police and having them being held accountable for things they do in the community.
So how our CRB was started was that back in there was a public outcry, and they basically, reached out to their common counselors and asked their common counselors and pretty much kind of demanded their common counselors to create this type of board. So if you gather, the proper constituents, look at how your city government is made up, and then, see that route. Or, maybe there is another avenue, because there is always talk about what can happen at the state level. New York State, can New York State demand some sort of oversight and then be able to hold the city accountable under that state mandate? So there is conversation about that. So I would say stay tuned. I'll give you also NACO as our overarching, our kind of, and I'll put that in the chat too. It's NACO, the National Association of Civilian Oversight and Law Enforcement, and you can go on their website. You can also contact them as well, and they might be able to give you some more information as well as to a avenue to approach that. And what other organizations might be doing some things that you may not have, known about, and they have been, working in the trenches, as you would say, trying to get things done. So those would be my current suggestions in relation to that.
Okay, thank you.
Make sure you follow through, okay, miss? That's very important. Make sure you follow through, all right? And once again, our condolences go out to you and your family.
I am. And I'm Yvonne Lee Griffin's sister. I'm sure Clifford probably knows by now. So just to let y'all know.
You are. I couldn't make it up there for the protest, but my heart was with you.
It's all right. I appreciate it. Thank you, y'all.
You're welcome. I think Dan has a comment.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I don't know whether you've covered this yet or not, and I'm sorry I'm late, but we just joined an organization for training as I read some of the emails. Does that mean that we're now eligible to take some of that training, or is it just for you as the administrator?
Nope, you always have been eligible. We are a organizational membership to NACO. And so you have always been able to reach out to them and get that training. That information is right there. But yes, we are an organizational member. So everyone on this, everybody that's on the board is able to get specific training. They had previously asked for email addresses. So they do have email addresses of all the board members previously. And you can also reach out to the NACO staff and ask in particular, advise them which oversight agency you are from, us, and they will, do whatever they can. But yes, that's the reason why we joined as an organization.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Jennifer, I'll reach out to you. I know some folks up in St. Lawrence County that I'll reach out to and see if they have any suggestions on people for you to get a hold of.
Thank you.
Hi,
Hey.
this is Michelle Manos from the Onondaga Nation.
Hi, Michelle.
And here, I referred her, a friend of mine, and I've been trying to work with her with We the People and the vice president of the group We the People. We have a nonprofit organization. It's a group of women who've dealt with police brutality around central New York or around with the police, been raped by the police. You know, these women, all 8 of us together, and we've been up there, and we try to rally with her, and yeah, we have issues ourselves being native women and matriarchs of this land, so we're a target too, and that's why we're out here speaking up. As well, I lost my mother and my daughter the past 2 years ago. So I'm dealing with that, and I believe my daughter was a target because she was dealing with police brutality in the prison with her baby father. That just so happened he won a case of $2 million for being beaten in 2016 in mid-state prison. 2018, when she died, he won that case that the day she died, and yeah, so it was. So we're out here speaking up and, putting up a good fight. And I'd like to know more about your citizen review board. And I know that Clifford is on the board. I know Clifford. I would like to know more about it because maybe I might be interested in getting on a board. And that's all I'd like to say tonight. I just really wanted to listen and thank you for welcoming.
Absolutely, Michelle. So the email is right there in the chat. Are you able to see that, or do you need me to repeat it?
No,
We would be happy to. We would be happy to do a meeting with all 8 of the women for We the People and do a Zoom call or a WebEx call with you. We would be happy to do that. And then we can answer any questions that you would like us to answer and explain our policies and procedures and things of that nature.
Okay.
So did you need the number?
Yes.
It's 315-448-8750. Sorry, 448-8750.
Okay, yep, I have that number.
And then you can email me at CRB, that's C as in cat, R as in Roger, B as in boy,
Yeah.
the @ symbol, at S as in Sam, Y, R as in rabbit, dot, no dot, but GOV.net. Sorry. GOV like government, like gov. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. But yes.
President Yvonne has it. I'm sure the vice president of We the People, the president, she has it because she does talk to, she's very familiar.
Okay.
Okay.
But just know we are willing to come, we're willing to do whatever we need to do in order to answer questions and things of that nature related to, anything that's going on. So we're willing to do a presentation to you, if that's necessary, if you would like that.
Yes, it sounds like a plan.
Okay.
And we have things coming up too that you guys might be interested in too.
Okay.
That we're working on, yeah.
Absolutely. So reach out to the office, give us that information. And, if we can attend, we will, or however we can work that out, Okay.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. No problem, Michelle.
Well, thank you.
Michelle, we provide information. We provide information for Citizen Review Board on know your rights and different information in regards to that right there too. So if we can set that up as Ms. Rutherford stated, we can get all of that information out to the public as well on different information that's pertaining to know your rights and everything as far as citizens are concerned.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got like 40 seconds. Anything else? Okay. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Do we have any other comments?
You're not the public, Dan. Unless you want to respond to them.
I have a question.
All right. No other public comment? Okay.
Okay. Dan, is there something you want to say now?
Yeah. How is what's the latest update on the training session with that guy we had over there by?
We're going to try and get dates from him that
Pardon
he's
me?
available. We're going to try and get dates that he's available
Okay.
in March and April.
Okay.
All right, I entertain a motion to go to executive session to discuss cases. Ruth,
I motion it.
second Cynthia. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, we're going to go to executive session now to discuss cases. So if the people who are not on the board could sign off, that would be great. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your story.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I'm learning how to do breakout sessions too, so just
That's
stay
even better.
tuned.
Yeah.
Caller number
Just what,
5.
just what we need.
Yeah, hold on a second. Caller number 5.
I think 5 is gone.
Nope, I still see a 5.
It's gone off of my screen, Raynette. Caller number 5 is gone.
All right. So is that just you? I see a caller 3.
3.
Okay, and then I see another caller. Is that Miss May?
I think
I
May
don't
is
know.
3.
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay.
You want me to
All
hang
right.
up?
Nope. Stay on. I'm gonna pause the recording.